O diretor James Gunn fez um trabalho incrível em O Esquadrão Suicida, que já está disponível nas principais plataformas digitais, e agora ele vai dar detalhes para você sobre o filme.
The Suicide Squad is a magical realist film because it really is about keeping things, grounded, keeping the acting natural, keeping people in, this place of physics and reality, but at the same time adding these magical elements of a walking shark and a woman who can control rats, but treating it all as if this is just a part of the world. And these characters live in the DC universe. They've seen a guy fly through the air. They know of an Amazonian island in which a woman has super strong and has a magic lasso that makes you tell the truth. So if those things exist, then seeing a walking shark is probably an odd thing to see. It's not a normal day for you. But at the same time, it's not so odd that you would, break down and sob like I probably would if I saw a walking shark walking out of this hotel room. This is obviously, a story in which we take big swings, and some of those are violent. Some of those are the way we tell the story. We go off on Harley's private adventure for 15 minutes in the middle of the movie. That's not something you normally do in a big movie, in any movie really, but especially not a big film that's superhero film. So I think but it is about balancing. Is this something that I'm doing just because it's only because I'm breaking a rule, or am I doing it because it serves the movie in some way? And for me, I'm always serving the story. I'm always serving the film. I'm always serving the characters. So if something outlandish happens or something gory happens, it's in the service of the film itself. It's not just for itself to exist because I can say, oh, look at this gory stuff I can do, or look at this odd, plot structure I can do. It's got to be fun for the audience. It's always got to be something that invites people in, not something that pushes people away. It's always different. In this case, it's mostly story, and then I chose characters for the general plot structure. But then once you bring in the characters, so I have my general idea written out with what the story is, and I know what that is. But then once I start to bring in the characters and I start writing, they really do have lives of their own. I mean, these characters have their voices, and those voices are more powerful than I am as a human being. And, Harley Quinn is going to go off and do whatever Harley Quinn wants to do. Polka Dot Man has his own sad story that's separate from anything I may imagine at the beginning of writing. So things change as we go on, and it's really a balance with this. The balance is for this movie in general. It's a balance of structure and planning, along with being able to change at the last minute. And that's what making this movie was like too, because I really plan everything out. I draw every shot in the movie. I make sure I know exactly what we're going to do. But when we get on set and we find a moment, a shot, a line, a performance, anything that we find on set, if it's really good for us, we'll take it in and we're ready to adjust and change. John in particular, he created this concept of, Z-grade supervillains who are being treated as disposable by the American government, and to be able to take his central idea, turn them into a movie. The least I can do is talk about him in interviews and have him play Dr. Fitzgibbon at the movie and put a bomb in Michael Rooker's head. Even better, who more deserves a bomb in their head than Michael Rooker? So John gets to do the thing that I dreamed of always doing. But he is he's a great guy, and I feel very indebted to him. Well, I think that there is what I think of as war caper films. It's Dirty Dozen, it's Where Eagles Dare, Kelly's Hero, Great Escape. These movies are a movie that were incredibly popular. Some of the biggest movies of all time when they came out in the late 60s and early 70s. And it's a structure that isn't used anymore. So it's about adapting that into this movie, which is also a lot of other things. It's a superhero movie. It's an action adventure of the highest sort. It's comedy. But putting all those things together and really creating, using that engine of that genre that's been largely forgotten and not utilized. It's just like having a tool that's really helpful that people don't know. Well, a lot of times you see movies being made and, you look at, there's great costumes, but the production design doesn't really look like it's in the same movie, or things don't seem to be integrated from the different department. And as important as I am to this movie, so are all of our department heads, our production designers, our Beth Mickle, our costumer Juliana Markovsky, our Dan Sudik, our VFX guy. And so I start very early making sure all these departments are in communication, because it isn't like there's distinct lines between the different departments. There's some things where one thing ends and the other thing starts, and other things where they kind of mix together. Making Bloodsport's costume, that was a combination of Juliana coming up with the costume, me having to write all of the different things that the pieces do at different times, and our props guy Drew being able to come in and build those props for all those little pieces on his costume. So that took a lot of planning, and that couldn't happen if we all didn't have open discussions all the time. I'm also really open to listening to other people's ideas. It doesn't mean I don't always take them, but truly, Juliana and Beth they're like my creative partners, and I'm with them a lot, and they're whispering things in my ear about, I don't really, people probably get upset, I don't really like that hair, is not working for me, you know what, because I've come to trust them over a long time now, and we really have an open communication with all of that stuff, and being able to make sure one vision for the film, that my vision is the same as Juliana's vision, is the same as Henry Bram's vision, the cinematographer is the same for Beth Mickle's vision, and we're all seeing the same movie before we ever make it. That's crazy. That's a weird coincidence. Want to hear what else is a weird coincidence? A year ago today, I pitched the Peacemaker TV show to HBO Max, or not a year ago today. A year ago on my birthday, I pitched the TV show to HBO Max, and we sold it.
E aí, gostou do vídeo? Então se inscreva no Warner Play clicando aqui, e a gente deixou outras 2 sugestões de vídeo para você.